Hey guys, Pete Peppers here, and we're going to talk about one of the game features in Candy Crush Jelly. And these are the Monklings. They first came out in level 121, and they are a imaginary creature that's like a baby monkey, but they're not born; they're actually hatched from eggs. So I guess that's a good indication that they're not the same as monkeys. So our little pop-up here is telling us that we have to match candies to make them. And we got this little egg and it fills up as we make our matches. It's up at the top here. And you can see that as we collect orange candies, they go up there. There's 2 orange squares on the board. And that's once this fills up, that they'll go in that spot. Either one of those spots. And now it's telling us that we have to get them below the candy string to collect them. So they're sort of like the bubble bears in soda, except here there's no soda, so they don't float up. We're actually just trying to bring them down. Drop them down with the natural gravity of the board. So that's not a real complicated process. Some important things to keep in mind. Every orange candy that we match will fill this up. So this one fills up pretty fast. On some levels, you have to collect a lot more. It just depends. And these orange squares, they can always go. You can keep adding them on the board. It's not like a limit of 1, as long as they're clear. So we'll see if I can make that point here in a second. Right, so here, whenever he's sitting in the square, another one can't go in that square. Here we have 2 on this board, so the next one will go over here. But there will be boards later on where there will only be 1 square in view, and we won't be able to, until we clear it out, we won't be able to get this next one on the board. So that's pretty. All of it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a pretty easy to understand feature altogether. Special candies are obviously going to help out when we're doing it. A stripe in the same row as the actual Monkling is really good. Like a vertical stripe here would drop them all the way to the bottom. The other thing that I like is the wrapped candies, like you see there. It's going to clear the row twice, and it's going to move it down pretty quickly. This is the last one we have to collect here, but since we have 6 moves, I'll just show you. Even though, well, I'm not going to be able to show you because I finished, but even though we have the number that we need to collect, more will keep coming on the board beyond that. Like we could have 6 or 7 on there, and until we get 5 ahead of the string, they'll just keep coming. So that doesn't really play a factor here, but it can come in handy later when you have to get a bunch of them. So like I said, the strategy is to always pay attention to where your orange squares are. Always pay attention to how your meter is. Sometimes you won't want to. There was a really hard level lately. It was level 171, and it took a whole lot of orange candies to fill this up. So there was some strategy stuff where you had to think about, like, when it was empty, you wanted to use your big combos that were going to get a lot in there. But like if it was almost full, then you would have to think about, like, maybe I want to wait to set that off to when it's empty so I can get the full collection. So you're always going to want to be thinking about things like that. Here's something I don't know. I don't know if these coils actually stop. I guess it won't even be a case, but you can see, like, on this one that it's actually taking more orange candies than the last one did. So you just, when you start the level out, just kind of pay attention to, is it a quick level or a slow level, and that'll help you decide whether you should be trying to get more of them on the board. or moving them down as fast as possible. Other levels will also have they'll have scrolling boards, so you might want to think like about it works the same way the bear does. The when it's scrolling, it's going to follow the bear. So you might want to keep it towards the top of the board so that you can get another one to hatch before you move on, because depending on where the next where the next orange square for it to be hatched is, it might be the right idea. Another thing to keep in mind is when you're thinking about collecting orange, it's not necessarily just matching them. You see that fish got that one, it put it up there. Also, earlier, I didn't really point it out, but
Sweet.
when you fire a striped candy off, if it hits orange candies on the way, those collect them too. So like a color bomb, for example, will collect a whole bunch all at once if you use it to collect the orange candy. Or coloring candy can do the same thing. So here we are. We only have 2 moves. We're really close to hatching it. I don't know if it's going to work out. Let's see. Yeah, it did, but won't be able to get it to drop in 1 move, I don't think. Because if I match this, it's going to be sitting right on the line. Or if I match the yellow, it's not going to fall far enough. So, yeah, that's how you fail at a Monklings level right here. You talk about the other stuff and you don't concentrate on getting it done in time. We'll set off this fish and see if that makes some kind of crazy thing happen, but it didn't. So that's the basic gist. I don't want to make this a super long video. Keep in mind how fast your egg at the top is filling up. Try to collect the orange ones to get the Monklings on the board as fast as you need to. You're going to have obstacles in the way. You're going to have blockers, different things. So you're just going to want to strategize because ultimately you're going to pick up some orange matches in cascades. So you just sort of have to balance, like, the goal of, like, am I trying to get it there? Trying to get a lot of them down there fast, or am I trying to clear the way first and then get one to drop? So just think about stuff like that. I hope you know a whole lot more about Monklings now. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Please subscribe to my channel to support all these how-to videos I make, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.